Hello and welcome to another episode of eScoot Talks. In today's episode, I'm going to show you something that I was actually avoiding to do for a super long time, and that is how to fit solid tires on your electric scooter. I'm going to have here Xiaomi tires and Xiaomi front and rear wheel because they are still quite popular, but this technique is going to work on all of the e-scooters. Now, I would never recommend solid tires on electric scooters, and I'm just going to explain you a couple of things, let you think, and then share with you the most common problems that's going to start happening on your scooter once you fit solid tires on. So first of all, how many different vehicles we have out there that are using tires? How many of them use solid tires? Bicycles, motorbikes, cars, trucks, lorries, buses. None of those don't use. Anything that uses a public road doesn't use a solid tire, and there's a reason for that. Only vehicles we can find solid tires on are some maybe heavy machinery, some forklifts for example. Why? Because they're usually used in controlled environment like warehouses, etc. They go pretty slow, and the surfaces where they are used are usually pretty smooth. Electric scooters are used on a public road, they go much faster, and there are lots of potholes. And that's the biggest downside, and that's why I wouldn't recommend them. But if you still want to fit them on, I'll show you how to do it super simply. No heating, no warm water bath, no lubricant, no nothing. Just technique, good tools and muscles, okay? When I was doing this for the first time, it took me 3 hours. I did I don't know how many times in 6 years, and we'll see how quickly I can do it, okay? So first thing first is set up your wheel direction, okay, rotation. So if this is looking forward, okay, then you know your disc then obviously goes on the left hand side. So this is the rotation, this is the rotation of your wheel. So this kind of arrow pattern goes forward so it can properly get rid of the water when it's raining, even those are super slippery in the rain. So tire underneath, wheel here, okay? A bit of a pressure with your knee on a disc. Trust me, you're not gonna, like, you can bend a disc, but if you're careful, that's not gonna happen, okay? So now we're gonna just help tire bite a rim a little bit. One tire lever here, one here, and one here. If you're trying to save money paying someone to do this for you, then try not to save money on tools, okay? At least invest money in tools, because you can't do a good job without good tools. And now this here, and this here. Now we have 3 tire levers. This one out, this one stays in, goes a little bit further in, because of course tire is not properly aligned. And now we're just gonna do a full circle around to make sure the tire is seated properly on a rim, okay? Okay, at least 1 circle, maybe even 2. Then we just take this out, and this tire is perfectly fitted on without a scratch. This was here from before, okay? Now, if you want to take it off, that's going to be on this tire pretty simple, okay? So, screwdriver, okay, just next to the disc so that you don't bend the disc. That's going to open big enough gap. So you can put the tire lever here and do this. Now when you did this, there you go. There you go. A bit here and there. Your wheel is off, okay? This one, you maybe saw, this is a softer tire. So if I would go for a solid, I would go for this. Same thing, properly aligned tire, okay? The only thing is with this tire, okay, you'll need to check them more often. They're gonna wear out faster because they are, of course, softer compound. So now, again, 3 tire levers, 1, 2, 3, there, a bit of a muscles, this tire lever all the way in, those two out, and then rotate full circle. There. Take a tire lever out. This is perfectly fitted, no machinery needed. Now taking this tire off is going to be a bit tricky, okay? And be careful guys, because if this tire lever skids, it's going there, it's going to be painful. Trust me, I'm not going to tell you what it's going to hit, and there, almost happened. It is going to be sore, trust me on that one. So, there. Yeah, some people are recommending to put a lubricant. Guys, if you put the lubricant on a tire and on your tools, that's gonna be slippery. You don't need that, okay? Good tools, bit of a practice and some muscles. Front wheel, okay. I think that as far as I remember on Xiaomi, the motor cable I think goes on the right hand side. It doesn't matter. So if this is the rotation, again, this is how the tire goes. Lots of people do this. This is the biggest mistake you can do, because you'll damage your motor cable. You don't need to risk that at all, okay? This, same, exactly same system. 3 tire levers. First with this one, just help tire bite the rim a little bit. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, all 3 in place. A bit of a pressure, yes. Now, okay. No, okay. There, and the third one fell out, okay. There. And it's on. Use those two to make a bit of a gap so you can push the third tire lever through. Move it all the way to rounded part. That's why I actually love these tire levers instead of the ones that are most common, the flat ones. But if you don't have them, you can use a screwdriver. And there you go. Again, perfectly fitted. No scratches at all, okay? Let's take it up. Here. There, it's off, okay? This rotation, okay? Okay, right. Okay, this didn't go by plan. It can happen, but there, just a bit of a muscles. And this one is so much softer, so much more elastic, so it's so much easier to put it on. Again, full circle around to make sure that it's properly in place. And there, perfectly fitted, no scratches at all. Okay, now let's take it off. There. This is 2 solid tires fitted and taken off in like what, maybe 10 minutes, right? So there, that's all guys. Yeah, I did get a bit sweaty, but now, okay, why you don't want to put solid tires on and what are the most common problems if you use them. So, especially on a scooter with no suspension, okay, when you put a solid tire on, every time you hit a pothole, you're gonna hit it with your bearings, okay, this here, with your bearings, or with your axle. On the rear wheel, that's not that much of an issue. On a motor, if you don't replace those bearings on time, you might bend your axle. I've seen that, and then that's gonna mean replacing the full motor completely, and that's not gonna be that cheap. Another thing, okay, with scooters that have solid tires, the most common thing is rear mudguard. Even if it has a mudguard support, okay, those screws get loosened over a time, your mudguard support gets loosened, and then your mudguard breaks. Then second thing is motor bearings, because the motor is much heavier than the rear wheel. And then the next time is of course bearings on the rear wheel. And the last thing, not that common on Xiaomi, but really common on Aovo and really cheap knockoffs with really cheap batteries is of course nickel strips in a battery. So all the money you save on punctures, you're probably gonna spend on fixing other things. Much cheaper way to avoid punctures is to get a scooter pump and check your tire pressure at least once every 2 weeks or once a week, and trust me, you'll run your scooter for a super long time without punctures and without any much of expense. I have actually videos made about Xiaomi scooter that did over 3,000 kilometers without a puncture, and I also have a video of a scooter that was using solid tires and got battery destroyed. Both videos are going to be linked in the video description down below. So there you go. I hope you learned something. I hope I earned your subscriptions. Until next time guys, please stay safe out there and respect other road users. Bye bye.